Welcome to this Freshbooks Postal Methods tutorial. To start, you're going to want to go to your Freshbooks dashboard. Once you're there, the first thing you want to do is actually go to your clients, either one of your existing clients or adding a new client. In this case, you're going to go to an existing client. And a few things you want to make sure is the case. Let's edit this client here. Want to make sure that we have a few things done that needed to be accomplished before we can move forward. And one of the things that needs to be done is make sure that you have enabled checkmarked here to add the PDF invoice as an attachment. That way when it's emailed out, it'll also send a PDF attachment. Once we have that, we want to click on Save. Also, I want to make sure that we also add an additional contact to this person. Down here on the bottom, go to Contacts, and we're going to add a contact. Now in this case here, you can name it whatever you want to name it, but perhaps it makes the most sense just to go and name this person Postal Methods. And the email address needs to be send@letter.postalmethods.com. Once we've done that, go ahead and click on the check mark, and now that person has been added to this contact. Okay, now that we've accomplished this, we also want to make sure that the invoice we create also has a few things that we need it for it to have in order for it to be effective. Now, incidentally, before I move on, I want to mention too that the email address that you use to set up your FreshBooks account needs to be the same email address that is connected to your Postal Methods. In other words, where this emails go out from, where it shows who it is from in FreshBooks. Whenever your customers get an email, who it shows that email is coming from, it needs to be the same as in Postal Methods. So go here to Postal Methods, the account settings and emails. That email address needs to match what's coming out of FreshBooks. So I want to make sure we have that. Okay. Now back in FreshBooks, we're going to go over here. We're going to create an invoice. So you can do this a number of ways. You can click on invoices and do the check mark here, or you can go over here as well and go invoice as well. Either way would work. So in this case here, a few things you want to make sure is the case. Now it could be that in your case that the template that's already defaulted is perhaps a different kind of look. For instance, it could be that you have it under the modern look or the simple look. What you want to make sure is it's going to be under the classic view, and make sure that's the case. Once we have established that, then we can save that as well. But let's go ahead and do save. Additionally, if we go back to the invoice, we can go ahead and select that invoice here and edit. You also want to make sure that the PDF attachment also is enabled here. So make sure that's check marked. If it is, click on Save. Okay. So now once we've established that, we can do a few more things. We can go to Actions here, or we can go back to Invoices in here. Either way, however you get to the invoice, you want to make sure when you get to that invoice, select it. We can do Send by Email. But you notice right now it's only being sent to JD Tester, or that in other words, in this case, the email address to that particular client. And you want to make sure that you also select the other person you put as a contact for that client. Now to send to both of those. And the way it should stand now is from this point forward, it will send both to the email client that's the email you have for that client, and to send at letter.postalmethods.com this point moving forward. Additionally, you notice the check mark is here for PDF attachment, which is what you want as well. So now that we have everything established, then we're going to push Send Invoice. And there you go. It has been sent to Postal Methods. So now what we're going to do is we're going to Postal Methods, and we'll wait for it to populate over here. We're going to go to Process Documents, and we will refresh this and wait for it to come through here. Okay, so now that it has populated, we see everything is going through, everything's green check mark, everything's valid, and it'll process here at this price point. So it's a relatively easy process, and once you get everything set up and in place, and from that point forward, it should be very simple to send documents to us to print and mail for you. Now keep in mind there is another way of doing this that works with your software. Using API, it integrates with our software. Using your software, that is a possibility. But for those who choose to just go directly without the use of merging software, this is another option. But either way, it's a great way. The other way, it can be very simple as well. And just keep that in mind. But either way, we certainly appreciate you reviewing this tutorial, but always feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you so much.